PocaTV, Wenzzzday.
Hey there, friendly people. How are you doing? It's the 38th edition of PocaTV Wenzzzday Ting. And my goodness, it's been a while since you and I saw each other. I checked the archives, and the last show I did, unfortunately, was a month ago on the 11th of September. I have been totally swamped with work ever since. But now, the good news is I found a couple of hours in between all of that hecticness, or whatever it is you want to call it, in between all that busyness of mine, to prepare for this program. And it's something I've been wanting to do for a good while. And now suddenly I almost had no choice, because at least I knew where to find everything I need for this program, and I didn't have to go scourging the internet for interesting pieces of news to share with you. What I've been wanting to do for a while now is to tell you the long and very exciting story, I must say, of this lovely station of mine, the HERstory of PocaTV. Mind you, it's part one, because as I say, it is kind of complicated and it takes place in different phases. So today I'm taking you to the very, very, very beginnings of this program. Um, this is what the logo used to look like way at the beginning. And it's now what you see in the top right corner, the little circle with PocaTV in it. But it used to be this big splash of orange. And I kept the same thing with the glasses and the eyes. And the slogan hasn't changed. I still use PocaTV, whatever that may be. And I'm so glad that all those years ago, 2008 is what we're talking about. I'm so glad that I came up with this slogan, because this is exactly what PocaTV turned out to be, whatever that may be. Like I said, it's been a couple of stages ever since. So let's see, January 2008 is what we are talking about. I was sitting at home, feeling a little sorry for myself. There was this ugly, nasty situation going on with my former employers. And I guess we were waiting for it to be resolved, and that took a good while. And all this time I was at home waiting, feeling miserable for myself, wondering what my future was going to be. I knew actually way from the start of the iffiness that, well, let's put it this way, my career as a newsreader in the Netherlands was at an end. But how was that going to end? I didn't want to go down without a fight. So I put up that little fight, and it took a good while. And as it was taking months and months for it to be resolved, I took myself off away from this situation. I took myself off to Paradise in Jamaica, where I always go when I feel like sanity is escaping me. So there I was, and I was joined by my good friends, Isaac and his wife, Pauline, and their little baby at the time, Rosa. So there we were, the four of us in Paradise, chatting day and night about what, what life's quirks were all about, and why certain stuff was happening, and most importantly, what to do about them and how to carry on once these things were over. And we were having a good time too in between. In fact, what we did was visit as many reggae festivals as we could. Now, the good thing is, Isaac at the time was learning to be a cameraman. He's a great cameraman now. And he was already a top-notch editor. Pauline is somebody who can take the large picture and zoom in and, give you the little nitty-gritty of any story. Rosa was just a little bundle of joy. I called her the vibes builder. And before we knew it, just talking there on the veranda of Paradise, the idea was born to start PocaTV, whatever that may be. And this was the original crew, me, Poca, being the presenter and the whatever not, Isaac doing camera work, and I did a lot of camera work as well. Isaac did the editing. Pauline was there to make sure everything went the way it was supposed to. And Rosa was there to make us laugh and to make us feel happy. So yes, this is how PocaTV saw the light. And the very, very first video that I shared online, because online was becoming a thing in those years, this was the very first video I shared, letting the people know that PocaTV was there. It is not starting. Now, why is that? Let's try it again. I think I need to just throw it out and put it back in. Just give me a couple of seconds, lovely people. These things only happen when I'm ready too soon, and for some reason the videos then don't start. Here it is, the very first video that PocaTV shared with the entire world. This is PocaTV, and I'm Poca. I'm a girl that lives in Holland and in Jamaica. I kind of switch between the two places. In Holland, I have a real, what we call Babylonian job. I'm a newsreader on television. And in my free time, I like to get back to the roots and do the real journalism that we hardly see anymore these days. So I'm the self-proclaimed freestyle multimedia global roots journalist. That's me. And what you can see on my page is anything that really catches my fancy, as long as it's about people, as long as it's real, as long as it's roots, and as long as it's not too edited, because everybody knows what you can do with your cutter and your paste. We try to show things the way they are. We try to show people the way they are. And we, that's me and my cameraman Isaac and our producer Pauline. So you'll be seeing a lot of us. You can feel free to drop us a line, show us your comments, tell us what you feel needs filming, and if we can do it, we'll do it. So keep coming back to PocaTV and see what we have in store for you. Building up vibes here, showing what we were going to show. Yeah, so that was Welcome to PocaTV in the year 2008. No sooner, no later. I'm having a little bit of trouble with myself here and the technique. It must be because it's been a while since I've done this. Let me quickly calm myself by looking who is in the comment section. It is Adrienne. Hi, Adrienne. How lovely of you to join me. I think you know most of what happened at the early days of PocaTV, but it's been 17 years, so I'm just here to refresh your memory, and I'm telling the story for all the people who joined me way later, only joined me when I was doing the stuff that I do now, shows like this live on PocaTV. So lovely to see you, Adrienne. If you have any memories of those days, just share them with me. Who knows, I might pull them up on screen. This is as good an opportunity as any to tell you that if you have any questions about this program, or if you have any comments or your own memories of those early days of PocaTV, just head over to this URL. You know by now, it's case sensitive, and do that on your laptop and join me here in the studio. It will take you to the Orange Room. Alternatively, you can scan this lovely little QR code made specifically for today, which as well will take you to my Orange Room, and you can just join the show shortly, briefly, tell me something that you remember from those days, or even tell me if you were one of the early viewers of PocaTV and what you thought about how it used to be, because as you know, it is quite different now than it used to be then. So join me. I would love to see you here in the studio and have a short chat with you. Okay, so where am I? Yes, I was telling you, this was 2008. The world had not yet understood what social media really were. There was a small group, compared to all the people online these days, a small group of people who already found out about social media. And the first social medium I joined, which to me is still the best there ever was MySpace. I don't know if you even remember MySpace, but MySpace was this place where you could easily reach out to people with the same kind of interests that you had. And the great thing about MySpace was if you knew a little bit, a tiny little bit of HTML, you could make your own look and feel of your page. Nowadays, we just get a page by Facebook and we add a picture or a video and that's it. But in those days, I could, choose my font, choose the background color, choose everything, and have this layout that I wanted it to be. And this quickly, you know, I guess it's what they call a brand. It branded PocaTV. People immediately knew that a post was from me. We called those a bulletin, that a bulletin was mine because of the way it looked. And it had all kinds of clickable icons, which I don't know how I even learned how to do that, but I did. You could always press a little button and it would take you to a video of ours. And that's how it all started. And people were reaching out worldwide in those days, making new friends. It wasn't anything like today when everybody's bashing each other's head and coming up with the weirdest of words to call each other. No, those days were about love and let's be friends and tell me about yourself and tell me what it is that you do. And I'll tell you what it is that I do. I still have friends from those days, on MySpace. And this is really, I many of them I never really met, but I still have them online as friends now, either on X or on Facebook or even on LinkedIn. So we kind of grew together. Now, what you need to know is there was no reggae station anywhere in the world at the time. There was no place where you could go for an hour of reggae nonstop, or an interview with a reggae artist, or a report on a great reggae festival. In those days, it used to be that broadcasters said, no, that's niche. We don't have an audience for that. And you should do that in your own little time. So that's what I did. I did it in my own little time together at first with Isaac and Pauline. And here we were bringing a lot of reggae to PocaTV at the time. So we really quickly had a lot of viewers all over the world. Let me see if I can come up with some countries where people were watching me from. Japan, Lithuania, Greece, Canada, I don't know, you name it. Russia, you name it, people were watching from there. China even. And they were watching this news station telling them about anything having to do with reggae. So yes, one of the first things, no, let me quickly look who's in the comment section. It is Donna Mattis saying, Sawubona Poca. Yes, Donna, Sikona, I see you. Thank you so much for being here. And I think there's a lot that you don't know about the beginnings of PocaTV. So hopefully you will enjoy this program, Donna. Thank you for joining me yet again. So yeah, it all started when, as I was telling you, Isaac and Pauline were in Jamaica, and the first big festival that we went to together, carrying our cameras, because nobody cared in those days. You could do all these things. Nobody was at the gate telling you, what do you think you're doing with your camera? They just let you in and everybody had fun. And this was when Rebel Salute was still in the valley of St. Elizabeth Parish in Jamaica. And we were there with our cameras, and for some reason, every big artist just wanted to be interviewed by us, which is what we did. And we had a great time, and we edited it. I think we had about 4 or 5 videos just from that festival. And some of them are still online. I have to tell you, with all these people watching from all over the world, I had tens of thousands of comments and likes, which was ludicrous in those days. Like I was telling you, YouTube was only just born, and not everybody was online at the time. It was just, a few of us doing this stuff. I had tens of thousands of comments and likes from all over the world on these videos. People loved watching these Jamaican festivals, reggae festivals. So yeah, let me see, where am I? As I was saying, there was nowhere else to go if you wanted to see anything about reggae. So that made it quite easy for me to be top notch very, very, very soon. Yes, I told you that you can still find those reports, but if you do go look on PocaTV on YouTube and you look for the tab videos, not the live, the video tabs, you will find these reports and a lot of other stuff that I did in the old days. But you will notice, for example, that the Rebel Salute view count is nowhere near those tens of thousands I'm just telling you about, and there are simply no comments. Now, why is that, you ask yourself? Well, that is the cliffhanger I'm not telling you today. I'll be telling you the next time I do part 2 of this HERstory of PocaTV. So something for you to look forward to, I guess, if it is looking forward. So once I was back in the Netherlands, still waiting to know what was going to go on with the employer. They were paying me in the meantime, so count your blessings. I had all that time on my hands, though, so we continued doing what we started in Jamaica. Any reggae artist that came to the Netherlands or Belgium, sometimes even Germany, we went. We took our camera and we tried to get an interview with the people, and we started, building our content and actually kind of making a name for ourselves. One really memorable report that we did was the day that we went, we drove for hours on end for our interview with Sizzla Kalonji. Now, how did that go? Well, I'm going to show you how that went. It's not starting. Sorry, people. I'm going to have to just reload every one of them because this is not going to work otherwise. So let me just reload the second video, and while it runs, I will reload the rest. Okay, let's do it that way. So I've loaded it. Here it is. Our meeting with Sizzla Kalonji for that interview that we had all set up. I actually had permission to ask a list of 10 questions. But it turns out I had permission from the wrong person. I should have asked Mr. Fatih Borel, and I asked somebody else, and that somebody else is a very respected person in the reggae community. So I thought I had the right one, and he told me okay. He sent me an email. He told me, go on with the people, carry on, Red Lion, take cameraman Isaac. But then we got here, and we do not have that permission. I do have permission for something, but I don't know what. So I'm waiting for Mr. Fatih Borel to come out with a big star, Sizzla. And I'm actually looking behind me to see if he's coming, but it doesn't look that way yet. Let's just hold that shot and see what happens. Here we go. Thank you. This is what we need. Blessed.
When we just walking through the hall and I tell you, big vibes. Off the hood.
Thank you, Mr. Burrell. Let me just unleash. Blessed evening, greetings, blessed, respect, major respect. Thank you very much, Firehouse crew. Thank you very much. Sizzla Kalonji. Blessed love. And I PocaTV on the internet.
All right.
You know we're friends on MySpace, right? I don't think you know, but we are.
Let's do this. Let's do the jingle.
Do a jingle? Yeah. So I would like you to do me a jingle.
PocaTV.
PocaTV, whatever that may be. That's my slogan. And anything else that comes to your heart.
PocaTV, whatever that may be, Sizzla Kalonji, it's total righteousness. Them never know you woulda make it in a life. Pretty car, pretty house, and pretty wife. Business that one and everybody feel nice. Stepping out the ghetto, step into the paradise. PocaTV tell them get to you, them want food. Have to wear clothes and them have to wear shoes. Some boy I me see approve, them approve. General come, them have to move. Oh God bless. Yes, no man curse. Can't stop the youth because I'm too down to earth. PocaTV, righteousness, bless. Bang.
Giving thanks, Sizzla Kalonji. All right, so those 10 questions, we're not going to get them right, Mr. Burrell.
Absolutely not.
I just had to ask one more time. Thank you, blessed love. See you next time I see you, because I'm everywhere that you are. Blessed love. All right. We got that. Thank you, Mr. Burrell. Oh, you can only imagine my excitement at being there face to face with Sizzla Kalonji, my big hero at the time and still. And he did that for me. Yay! So I didn't get the 10 basic questions. Who cares? I have this, and this I can use the rest of my life. So by this time, word was spreading. And all of a sudden, here were the European reggae festivals asking us whether or not we wanted to be part of, the festivals. They invited us to come with our cameras and with the Vibes Builder Rosa and Pauline and Isaac and me. And, do some interviews with the people and show the vibes at the festivals, because this was the time when suddenly everybody understood, you had to have a website. But what to put on your website if you are a reggae festival and you don't quite even know how websites work yet? So they came up with the idea, if PocaTV makes a couple of films, we can use those on our website and we'll have something moving there and people will get into the vibes, etc., buy tickets and come. And that is how, this is the wrong flyer, I'm talking about this one. This is how one entire summer, the crew and I were all over Europe doing the big festivals like Reggae Geel in Belgium and Reggae Sundance here in the Netherlands. And we did a lot of interviews. Look at the names on that flyer. I'm seeing Mutabaruka, Queen Ifrika, it was there, Winston Francis, No More Babylon, people from France, a lovely band, King Shiloh Sound System out of the Netherlands, Omar Perry, we talked with him, Mad Professor, don't forget Mad Professor, big artist, and so many more. And we did a whole summer of filming and later on the editing of these videos. Of course, both of these festivals got us tens and thousands of viewers and comments yet again. People from all over the world attending these festivals, watching our videos, and mainstream media was still not reporting on the bigness of reggae in Europe. So that's why we stepped in. We just did it. We had good fun. Let me see. Next time I will tell you about what happened to these videos, the videos for Reggae Geel and Reggae Sundance. There you go. I have another cliffhanger for you. I do also see a lovely comment coming in from somebody calling himself or herself, I'm not sure, Groen. Hi there, Groen. Groen means green. I don't know if that's your first name, your last name, or your nickname, but I'm glad that you're here watching us. Tell me if you know PocaTV from the very beginning, or if you're one of the later adopters of this Roots Rebel station, Groen. I'm really curious to know who you are, if we've ever met, and if you're one of the early viewers of this lovely station. So yeah, I just told you about the European festivals, and a year later I was back in Jamaica for another round of Rebel Salute. This time I was there alone. I had just only a tiny camera. I'm telling you, the quality really isn't very great, but the view count was, because people just loved seeing this and nobody else was catering to them. So here we go, Rebel Salute round 2, for you to get a little bit of vibes of what a Jamaican reggae festival used to be like in the days when it was predominantly Jamaicans visiting those festivals. It was so much fun, so much fun.
Yeah, man.
human heart in an ancient calling. The fire was blazing, they were raising, who was working hard. They always come down to the man, and when you trust them, I heard from your mouth, it was brave or the man. I said it like it is, to love for God.
Wow, that was so much fun. I had so much fun that night. I was by myself with my tiny little camera, running all over the place, filming this, filming that, and compiled it into a much longer video. But this is just the short version for you to just get the vibes, just taste what it was like. That's all I want you to be able to do. So yeah, I don't want to, blow my own horn, if that is the correct expression. But once again, huge success, tens of thousands of views, comments from all over. And to be honest, it was the last time I visited this festival in its old state. And by that, I mean, there were just Jamaicans there and maybe 10 foreigners like myself. Tourism really wasn't a big thing at the time. It was only starting in Jamaica. It took forever to fly to Jamaica in those years. You never could get, one of those charter planes that dropped you off and then whisked you off to your all-inclusive hotel. That wasn't there at the time. So people in Russia, in Kazakhstan, in Japan, in wherever it is that they were watching PocaTV, were suddenly, for the first time in their lives, seeing what a huge party it is to be at a Jamaican reggae festival. And they started saving their money, and they started getting on planes, and they started, renting a hotel room and making their way to the festivals. And I guess maybe PocaTV was part of the inspiration. I like to think it was. I've been known to say that I kind of regretted doing all those videos at the time, because that is really when Jamaica started changing for the worse, in my opinion. But to know about what I think about tourism, for example, check out one of my older live videos in which I had some advice for Jamaica on how to deal with the superflux of tourism right now, and especially with the ramifications of so much tourism on such a small island. Anyway, that was another PocaTV program. You can definitely watch it if you wish. So where am I? Yeah, we're back in 2008, because Rebel Salute, you just saw, was 2009. Back in 2008 now, all of a sudden, people on MySpace were starting to send me their own videos, their own little snippets of video, because they wanted the world to know about what they were doing with reggae and with Rasta. So nobody could have come up with this idea, but it happened. People were sending me the little snippets, and I kind of pokafied them, and then I shared them. And here's a very memorable one, if you ask me. Self-explanatory. Hi everybody, it's Poca coming live at you from the Poca studio. This time what I have in store for you is a new vid in our Sky White section. And it's all the way from Russia this time. Sister Masha and Fisher Productions in Moscow send me some raw material which I have combined and put together into this vid. And you can do the same. Just upload something for us. Send us a link at myspace.com/PocaTV, and who knows, you might be next. So here is From Russia with Love.
FMC especially for PocaTV, right from Island Studio in Moscow. So what I'm doing here, just sending my message to all viewers, and just I'm sitting here, enjoying making music, making tracks, dub, reggae music. Of course, I got some weed here to smoke. Bits, just to get higher. That's all I want to say. Just be yourself. Find your way to yourself. Just get free of what is disturbing you, what's corrupting you. Love each other. Follow the only one. And be free and happy.
From Russia with love. Let's organize, arrange such a society of warm, kindly people. So we are the first. And this message is especially for PocaTV. Peace. Sorry. This is Artemy.
And this is Nikolai.
Kaля. We are from Russia. Correct. PocaTV.
To PocaTV from Bob Muzungu, I from Russia, wicked people, get wise and overstand, you know? Get wise, get wise, get wise, get wise and overstand. Get wise, get wise, get wise and overstand. Condom. Get wise, get wise, get wise, get wise and overstand. Chua. Get wise, get wise and overstand. Yes, respect to all Rastamans, respect to all people. Yes, I, Rastafari.
Да, Растафарай. Мир всему миру. Ну, добра, позитива и побольше улыбок.
Для PocaTV.
Для PocaTV.
Пока.
Пока?
Пока.
PocaTV.
Okay.
I still wonder if PocaTV means something funny in Russian. I don't know. But can you imagine this? This was people I didn't know, people in Moscow, and they were just, following me on MySpace, and on YouTube, and sending me their little video, saying who they were and showing off their toasting, the rapping that reggae artists do, and wearing your dreadlocks. We didn't know about these things in those days. We were seeing it all on PocaTV. And then they went in the streets and talked to random people and told them to do a station call for me. I think that is wonderful. I have the best memories of those days. Really, it was as if everything we miss these days, about people talking about connecting to each other and embracing each other and all of that. We weren't just talking about it. We were doing it. And once again, we were making worldwide friends and keeping that link. So it is still, that part of that year. I'm still at home. I'm still sitting. I'm still feeling sorry for myself. The whole thing with the former employer has still not been resolved. So I had way too much time on my hands. And in order for me to keep my sanity, I really immersed myself into PocaTV. It was like an obsession. I woke up every morning thinking, is there anything I can do today to share with the people? And that actually got me out of bed, and it kept me from becoming really, really, really depressed, because I was slightly depressed, but not so bad that I needed to be hospitalized or take the pills that some doctors wanted to give to me. All I needed was some activity, something to put my mind to, something to keep me occupied, and something that, was kind of fun. And sometimes this led to hilarious situations. At least I thought they were. I'm not sure how the rest of the world took it, but there you go. Here is one of those things of which I wonder, had I lost my sanity, yes or no? I'm still not sure. Hi, it's Poca, live from the Poca Studios. I'm very sorry to have to inform you that this will be the last film that you see on PocaTV. I got this letter from Babylon telling me that they just don't approve with the things that we do and the things that we say on air, and they're actually going to cut my internet connection at the end of this day. So they're giving me this last chance to get out this message to you, and unfortunately, well, like I said, this is going to be the last thing you see on PocaTV. I'm not really sure where this is going to take us. We, of course, don't just lie down and wag our tail whenever Babylon comes along, so fight the fight with us, if you feel so inclined. Thanking you from the heart for your support. Beso. PocaTV.
Hot like red ants, biting, hot like red.
From the Poca studio, this is Poca. If you watched us yesterday, you saw me show you an official paper stating that Babylon was going to cut my internet connection and that that film would be the last one you ever saw on PocaTV. Well, here's the update. I'm sorry. I am truly sorry. Imagine all the responses I got. Let me tell you a few here. System Masher and Fisher Productions, all the way in Moscow, they have been reposting my bulletins telling you the bad news. Manuel T in Malta, he's been asking me, who is kicking you out? Is this YouTube and why? And then there's Russ Cloud on the World of Jack community, wondering if Babylon thought our films were just a little bit too black. Same goes for Magadopi, who's ready to go to take up arms and burn down Babylon. Steven at 876 Vibes, really wondering what's going on, if I'm okay, if I'm down in the dumps and all of that. Last but not least, the one to mention would be DJ Conscious of Conscious Radio all the way in London, who was devastated and wondering if I would ever survive and if there was anything he could do. And then there's one more thing. Do you really think that if Babylon came along and told me that they would take away the most important thing in my life, that I would, like I said, lie down and wag my tail? No. No. If such a thing were really to happen, we would make a noise. We would bang our drum. We'd bang our pots and pans. Blow our whistle. We'd wear our army gear and fight the fight. One last thing. Just one more. DJ Conscious in London, send me these flowers. Thank you. And so sorry. Oh my goodness. So that was a day, as you can imagine, that took a lot of changing clothes and coming up with all these pots and pans and recording it and then editing it. I had a busy day. So while I was supposed to be sitting here on the sofa crying because my career was at an end, I was having the time of my life. And people from all over the world were responding, sending me flowers. DJ Conscious, if you're watching this, I will never forget that. And I hope you're doing fine. It's been a while since we spoke. So April Fools. I really don't like April Fools, but I had so much fun doing this. And as I was telling you, this was keeping me off the streets and keeping me sane. Now, all of this was kind of starting to pay off because this was also the time when PocaTV started drawing attention outside of the reggae festival going people, the fans of the music. Word was spreading because people were telling their friends to call their friends and tell them all about PocaTV. So people I would never have dreamt of having in this community were reaching out to me. And out of the blue, we were asked to review a new film that had recently come out, a film that is completely linked to the Marley family. So you can only just imagine our excitement. Let me tell you how that went. Now I'll show you. Hi everybody, it's Poca coming to you live from the Poca studios with some bad news and some good news. The bad news is I'm a bit teary-eyed and a bit sniffy because of all the stuff that Babylon is putting into the air, and it's finally spring, so I got some kind of allergy. Never mind, there's great news and I want to share it with you, and this is what it looks like. This is the film Africa Unite, made by director Stephanie Black, who I'm sure you know from her film Life and Death. What's the story behind this film? Well, in February of 2005, Bob Marley would have been 60 years old, and as I'm sure you know, there was a big gig in Ethiopia to celebrate and to commemorate that big artist. Now, this film does not only show you the great concerts that went on there on the square in Addis Ababa, but this is a whole Marley family tough gong project that Stephanie Black did. So you'll see the whole Marley clan walking the streets of Ethiopia, talking to youths from the whole of Africa actually, who have come there in Ethiopia to discuss the future of the continent. You'll see Danny Glover, who is the UNICEF ambassador, and you'll see a Rasta from Jamaica who finally makes it to Ethiopia. It's a very emotionally charged film. I actually showed it to a couple of people and they cried all the way through. So whatever you do, don't miss Africa Unite, but to get into the mood, why not check out our film review, our chat with associate producer Russ Bobby Morgan.
There are all sorts of different factors towards the disunity right now, the breakdown of the unity. It's coming from, the colonial powers, which still prevails because the mentalities that has been left, functioning, are still under that cloak,
So Africa is now ruled in a way that the colonial powers, ex-colonial powers were ruled, which means Africa is not being ruled in an African way. Is that what you're saying?
Completely. There's no real identity. The African identity, is not visible. It's not, within the education system. It's not within, the whole social system. The youths that are growing are aspiring to be something else.
How can you make a whole continent understand that the figures that they have been put into their minds are forming the way they see themselves and the world?
Yeah, that is exactly what is happening, and that's what we need to bring, that a different consciousness, a new consciousness, consciousness of self, consciousness of your history, your past, who you are, your future now, where you're going.
What can PocaTV do to help to get it out there?
PocaTV right now is helping to get it out there, and it's wonderful that PocaTV is doing the work that it's doing, independently, and getting, messages across that are, important to people and, to cultures, and especially the youths, And this is what Africa Unite is all about. We're reaching the youth. We want to work with the youth. We want to, let the youths understand that there is alternatives,
That's actually where to start.
That's it, and we, with the hopes, we're asking you all to, see the film, understand what it's about, and go out and do more research for yourself. Start talking about it. Let it become, a part of your daily.
Yeah, so once again, I'm telling you, this was at the beginning of the century. These were not topics that were discussed openly and freely the way they are now. Well, of course, apart from on Jamaican radio, because that's where I got all the knowledge that I have today. They were doing it. But the rest of the world, and specifically Europe, really was not ready to talk about the old colonial days and all of the consequences that we still see to this day. So once again, I guess PocaTV was there out on the forefront, sharing stories about how the world really is. And in fact, I hear is Groen telling me he's not a follower from the early days, but he really enjoys watching this old footage. Well, that's really great, Groen. And let me repeat once again that if you want to see the actual reports, and there's so much more that I'm telling you today, because we're going to have a part 2 of this HERstory, but you can head over to the video section on my YouTube and find the recorded stuff. Because even if you see me presenting and saying, hi, everybody, it's Poca, pretending to be live, in those days, it was actually all recorded. This, what you're seeing now, is live, at least if you're watching on the 9th of October. If you're not watching on the 9th of October, you're watching a rerun, but you get the drift. So, Groen, please be welcome. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video, share it with other people. What we need to do is grow PocaTV even more than it used to be. Here's a hint. All for part 2. So wonderful stuff. Thank you for joining yet again. So where am I? Yeah, I started after this film review. The film did really well, I have to say. And that was really not down to me or to PocaTV, but just it did well because it was a great film and it's still around. So if you want to see it, you definitely should. But I was starting to let go a little bit of reggae without losing it altogether, because reggae has always been the soundtrack to PocaTV. Anything I've ever made later on in the timeline, I've always used reggae as a soundtrack, and I've made my little beds, and I've asked friends to make me a little dub, and so I could use reggae music as a soundtrack to all my films. But what I started doing is just because I still had all those hours to fill, anytime I watched a video or a movie or a documentary about something that really interested me, I used to do reviews of them on the same old MySpace, and I'd make these little flyers and then give my review and tell people to go check it. So it was always societal topics. It's always been about society for me. So we had this film by Michael Moore about the healthcare system. I called it the sick care system because that is what he proved in his documentary. There was Super Size Me. I wonder if you've ever seen it. Filmmaker Morgan Spurlock, who died last year, I'm afraid, not linked to this, but he spent a whole month eating only McDonald's. Only breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, everything was McDonald's. And he recorded what was happening to his body. It was actually shutting down. He gained, I don't know how much weight, but his heart started fluttering. His kidneys were going out of, his liver wasn't working too well. 30 days of eating strictly McDonald's. He proved what that does to your body. Super Size Me. And then, of course, there has always been for me the story of colonialism and the atrocities that went on in those years. So when Sarah Baartman documentary came out, made by a poet, by the way, her name is Quiet Storm, but her real name is Didi Hunt, about a South African woman who in colonial times was really, treated like worse than an animal. They prodded her, they pulled her hair. They did the same thing here in Amsterdam. They actually displayed people from the colonies here on the big square and sold tickets for people so they could go see those weird creatures being people of African descent and, pay money to do that. That happened in the Netherlands as well. So this kind of stuff is what I was also spreading around the world because, well, I just felt a need to do it, and I guess I still do. Meanwhile, my good friend DJ Conscious, who I mentioned earlier today, was kind of my correspondent. He used to still live in England at the time because he's a Brit. He now lives in Jamaica. But he used to still live in London in those days. And he used to send me any kind of news that he thought might interest me. And one of the things that he sent me actually made cameraman Isaac and me get on the ferry boat to London to check out whatever the hell was going on there in London. And here's the story to that.
PocaTV, whatever that may be.
PocaTV is truly international, as you can see.
PocaTV, whatever that may be.
So we are now in the west part of London near the Ladbroke Grove station. And right here in the west of London we have Dub Vendor. For those of you who don't know, Dub Vendor is one of the most famous reggae shops in England, which makes it one of the most famous reggae shops in the world. And there is news. I received this tip. And what it says is basically that this shop here in the west is going to close down. So what is that all about? We're about to find out. So talking to the manager of this Dub Vendor, Record Check, the man called Face. So Face, thank you for talking to us. What is this bad news that I read here?
Yeah, well, after 28 years in the business here, we've had to close down because our lease is up, and that's been raised, and we're not making as much money as we did a few years ago now because we're involved in a congestion charge.
Tell me about the congestion charge. This is an international station.
The Mayor of London decided to put Kensington and Chelsea within the congestion charge zone, which basically what they're trying to say is they're trying to reduce the traffic in London. And it used to be central London originally, and then last year, February, they extended the zone to this area.
So that means that cars driving through,
they have to pay an £8 charge.
so nobody's driving past your shop.
People are not coming in.
So they're not buying your records.
No.
Dub Vendor was here before most of the other record shops opened up, and people used to come from far and wide. Coming when they used to be across the road in the shack, you know, it was packed, not just inside, outside. You know, you meet people, you meet friends, you meet family, you're able to buy some music, and you go away happy. You know, this is how it's always been.
That's the thing. A lot of people in the area is going to miss this place because it's a meeting point. You know, if you want to hear the latest news, people come into the shop and we talk. You know, we don't just sell records. It's like a community.
So that means that's a big loss for London.
It is a big loss, and Carnival as well. Everybody knows that everybody comes to Carnival, and the first place they come is this shop. So they're going to be shocked when we're closed.
Call on them, everybody's a call on them. Say feel legalize the herb from when. Call on them, Rasta man a call on them. Like not thunder a go fall on them. Call on them, ja children a call on them. Proper education them a depend. Tell them when them in a them big conference. Tell them say them last them no make no sense.
I have one final question. This gorgeous mural you have here, what's going to happen to that?
I don't know.
Somebody come whitewash it?
I don't know. This mural, I've seen so many people take pictures of this mural. It's unbelievable. There's adverts, people have made films with this mural in it. It's just tradition.
It's a part of London.
It is a part of London.
As is your shop.
Yes.
So bless up your works.
Thank
you for everything.
Respect.
Respect.
Nice.
Peace. Yeah, man. Asoigo. Big up peace. Yes. Thanks. So Dub Vendor had to succumb to, what happened in the world after that. Everybody's buying their music online, or they're streaming it, or they're not buying records anymore. Even though there's a slight pickup on that front, but they did have to close that wonderful shop that was so iconical for that part of London. They still have the other shop, but like Face was telling us, the vibes there are totally different. And it was like the meeting place of all people into reggae was suddenly gone. Well, that is, I'm afraid, all I have time for today. But as I was telling you, this was only the very beginning, the first 2 years of PocaTV. We're talking 2008, 2009. We hadn't even taken off yet, which is about to start in the timeline. PocaTV getting really big, and a lot of stuff happened. So that is going to be for next time. We will be talking about the rise and fall of PocaTV, because we did fall flat on our face, but I'll be telling you about that next time I have time to do one of these programs. And when will that be? Well, it will definitely not be next week, because next week, allow me a little vanity here, I'm nominated to win a media prize here in the Netherlands. I'm not going to win it. I really am not. I know I've seen the competition, but I'm damn well going to go to the party and meet some nice people. So that's going to be next Wednesday, which is another reason why I cannot do another PocaTV Wednesday thing. Who knows when the next one will be? Just make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, or follow the Facebook page, like this video, share it. Look at everything else I've made. I think it's over 140 videos by now that I have on my YouTube. So you never need to be bored. The only thing is, I cannot tell you when I will be back with a live program. But if you follow me on Facebook and you subscribe to the YouTube channel, by default, you will know when I'll be back with something new. So just make sure that you keep abreast of everything, is what I would like to say. And hope and pray that, I have time once again this month or next month to do another Wednesday thing. I will definitely, he said yes, I will be doing hopefully a PocaTV live with a special guest on the last Friday of this month. He hasn't confirmed, but he did tell me he was going to do it, and I really hope he will. Once again, follow the page on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You will know automatically when everything happens here on PocaTV. A last look in the comment section from Groen again. Thank you, Poca. I am already a winner. Well, thank you so much for that, Groen. I am tickled pink. I want to thank every one of you who stuck it out with me today, and reminding you there's so much more to be told about the HERstory of PocaTV, but that will definitely have to be another time. Donna says that was done with such a straight face, and I think she's alluding to the April Fool's thing, and the Oscar goes to, my mother used to say that I could have been an actor or a lawyer. I became neither. I'm a global freestyle multimedia journalist. That's what I am. But you can tell, Donna, how much I enjoyed myself, especially in those days that were quite bleak, to be totally honest. So thank you once again, everybody, for joining me today. I had a whole lot of fun. Let me know what you thought of it, and I'll see you again next time as soon as opportunity knocks on my door. Bye for now. Bye, everybody.
PocaTV Wenzzzday.